Hey everyone, welcome to Kempner Canucks. My name is RevTrev, and I'm glad you're here because today we're going to be talking about the Canucks February predictions, my monthly predictions. Now, speaking of my predictions, I am on fire. I'm kind of like the Canucks. I'm on fire. I'm exceeding expectations. Okay, and like last month, I predicted that we were going to have 9 wins, only 2 losses, and 2 overtime losses. I literally was 1 win off. The actual ended up being 10 wins, 1 loss, and 2 overtime losses. Now, granted, I didn't think we were going to destroy on the road like we did, and that's why I made the Canucks Road Warriors video. And so it's been an incredible ride to be a Vancouver Canucks fan, and we're all loving it. We're loving this ride, and I'm so sick and tired of all the media, all these people saying, you just need to pump the brakes, Canucks fans, pump the brakes. No, we're hitting the gas. We are on a roll. We're staying on a roll. We're first in the NHL. We're first in the NHL. Not just second, not just first in the division, not just first in the conference. We're first in the NHL, and that's just a fact. It's not like we're bragging. It's just a fact. That's who we are right now. 49 games in. So it's been incredible. And then we go and make this massive trade with the Calgary Flames, our division rivals. I've made 2 videos on that. Thank you so much for watching, commenting, being a part of that. But here's the thing. Now we get to watch this guy play, and he always plays well with good players. And so he's, like Rutherford had said in the interview, the plan is to play Pettersson with Lindholm. We saw at practice that he is on the same line with Pettersson. It looks like Mikheyev is on the left wing, so it's going to be really incredible to watch. And the All-Star game, it was so wild, right? Because we had 5 All-Stars, plus then we got Lindholm in the trade, so it's 6 plus talking, so we had 7 All-Stars, and it's been a wild thing. And I talked about that All-Star game and did a recap, so if you want to check it out, remember, I do live streams after every game. Now, if they're too early in the day, I usually do them around 9:30, 9:45 p.m. Pacific time, so please join the conversation. Please check out those live streams. I'd love to chat with you. I love the conversation back and forth. I learned a lot of stuff actually in the chat regarding the All-Star game. I asked lots of questions what people thought was the best parts, and it was a good time. I mean, almost everyone hated the jerseys. I mean, watch that stream, and I think you'll really enjoy it. But man, the Canucks are literally the talk of the NHL. And it's been a blast, hasn't it? It's just been such a wild ride. Now, the question is, do we continue? And but before we get into that, if you haven't hit that like and subscribe, please do. At this moment, it'd be great for you to do that. I love making Canucks content that is passionate, that is realistic, and that is honest. And I've got a goal to get to 1,000 subscribers. And now I'm on the countdown. I'm on 915 at the moment of making this video. So I'm on the countdown. So if you'd take a moment to do that, I'd appreciate it. Okay, let's talk about February's predictions. Because January, February, kind of those 2 lull months they talk as NHLers. It's these grind months. It's hard to stay motivated. There's a lot of season still left. And then once March hits, then all of a sudden, all the games matter so much more. April, of course, is crunch time for a lot of teams trying to make the playoffs. So the break is usually good for most players, but the Canucks are coming into this month with a high of 8 wins and 2 overtime losses. And this month, you're hoping kind of like, I just don't want to see any significant injuries happen in the next couple months. Now, I know that this is where the grind hits, and it's difficult to play tough hockey all the way through. But I mean, we've been seeing it from the Canucks all season. So I just want to show you this graphic, okay? The Canucks, by the numbers, if you follow him on X or Twitter, it's at his hashtag is not hashtag, his handle X handle is Dave Lee Sun 1. You can download these every month. I put them on my phone and I check out. Thanks so much for making these. I appreciate you and allowing me to use these in my videos. Okay, so the Canucks start February on a 5-game road trip. Now, normally we're pretty concerned about that, but it seems like they've been really unstoppable. Doesn't matter if they play at home or on the road, but I do think it's going to matter on this road trip. We start in Carolina. It's a 4 p.m. start on Tuesday night, and last time we played them, we beat them 4-3. That was on December 9th. But here's the thing: this is where Lindholm got drafted. Not only is he coming, and this is going to be the first game that they're going to play together, he is also coming in to play with against his old team that drafted him. And I believe it was Rutherford that drafted him in Carolina. So I don't think the Carolina Hurricanes want to get swept. And they're a good team. Like, they're in the last 10, they're 7-2-1. But I just have this feeling that the buzz and the hype and the excitement of the Canucks are going to win this game. Now, I could also see them losing this game. I'm not predicting that, but because of they didn't get enough break like everyone else, so all the stars were busy with all the all-star festivities, so I could see us having a bit of a down game. I'm wondering if they're going to start DeSmith in this game, but we'll see. I think they're going to start DeSmith, but maybe I'm wrong on that, because I think the next game is they're going to play Boston Bruins. So I'm going to go with a win. We're going to find a way to beat the Carolina Hurricanes. And then we go into Boston, and it's another 4 p.m. start Thursday night. And this is the possible Stanley Cup preview. Right now, here's the thing that I do want to talk to you about, because Boston has this culture. Now, you might not like Boston. You might not appreciate them. You might really dislike some of their players. I'm not sure what your opinion is. I know most Canuck fans are not fans of Boston at all. They don't like them at all because they beat us in the Stanley Cup Finals many years ago. But they have this winning culture, and they're tough to play against, and they could care less if you like them. Like, that's the kind of team, like, a lot of teams are trying to model themselves. They're very successful, and so I just want to stop and honor that culture they've built. I mean, not that I'm a big fan of that, but to be this good for this long, and they were the best team by a landslide last year in the regular season. Now they got ousted in the Stanley Cup playoffs, but I'm just really impressed on how good these guys are. And then Pasternak has been on a tear, has 72 points. But then it drops off significantly. Marchand has only 47. Well, only 47. It's basically a point a game. And then Coyle has 42. And then after that, it drops off significantly. And where they're really extremely strong in is in goal. Swayman and Allmark are on fire this year, 16 and 15 wins each. Swayman's been the better guy. Now, hilarious story. I loved the Demko Swayman thing at the All-Star game. I actually don't think it was intentional. I just think it was hilarious that at the end of the day, Demko didn't hug Swayman in the dressing room like he did with all the other goalies. And but as a Canucks fan, it's like, yeah, get lost, right? So we play them twice this year, and both of those times happen in the month of February. So Boston is 7-1-2 in their last 10, and I'm going to predict that there's going to be a split in this series. So I'm going to predict that Boston's going to win on Saturday at when they're at home. We're going to lose on the road, and then we play. Oh no, that's on Thursday. I apologize. And then we play the Detroit Red Wings at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning. And this is just the Detroit Red Wings, I think, are a really tricky team. Even though we are best in the league, I don't think we should take the Red Wings for granted. They have talent. Now, they don't always get the production they want, but they are an improved team. They have 26 wins, 18 losses, and only 6 overtime losses. So, like Boston, we played them twice, both in February, and Detroit is 6-2-2 in their last 10, and in their 6 wins, they came against these teams: Vegas, Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, Florida, Toronto Maple Leafs, and the LA Kings. And so I'm going to say again that we split this series and we lose this one, but we win the one at home. Okay? Now, I just have a feeling that it's going to be a little bit of a rough start on this road trip. So it'll be 2-1 or 1-2 to start. Then the next day is Sunday. We won't have, like, a lot of fans are going to start going, oh my goodness, what's going on? We didn't beat Boston. Now we didn't beat Detroit. But we're going to come back Sunday morning, 10:30 a.m. We are playing the Capitals in the Capitol. And this team is as a shell of what it used to be. I know Ovechkin's trying to get the goal mark. Doesn't look like he's going to get it or come close anymore. But they're 4-5-1 in their last 10. They have 22 wins, 18 losses, 7 overtime losses. They're 27th on the power play, and they're averaging only 2.38 goals per game, while Vancouver is destroying at a 3.8 goals per game. And so I think that that's where we bounce back. I think DeSmith will be in net for that one. And then we play Chicago on Tuesday at 5 p.m. I don't think Bedard's supposed to be back for that game. He might be, but I don't think he is. And if he's not playing, I just don't think they have a legitimate chance of beating us, because their team has literally been injured. They're struggling. They're not in a place that... And I like the Blackhawks. I like what they're trying to do here. So I'm okay with them, but it's been frustrating. If you're a Blackhawks fan, man, you want to just watch Bedard. I mean, even as a Canucks fan, I want to watch Bedard. That kid is unbelievable. So we're going to get the W there as well. And then we go home for 2 games, and that's when we play Detroit again. And I believe that Canucks get revenge at home. They figure it out. They've turned things around. They're on a 2-game winning streak. They beat Detroit. Now, the big matchup is on the Saturday that week, and we play the Winnipeg Jets, and that's going to be a 7 p.m. start time for us. And the Jets are 6-3-1 in their last 10. But here's the thing: when you look at those 6 wins in the last 10, they were versus weaker teams. Now, I know that Hellebuck is an amazing goalie, and in my opinion, though, our team is better than the Jets. They've had a phenomenal year, and I want to give them all the credit. And this is a big matchup for Vancouver and Winnipeg. But I think we're better overall, and we're going to win at home. And then we play them for 3 months in a row, 1 game for 3 months in a row. And it's going to give us a better taste of how they match up. The Jets and the Canucks match up against each other. Obviously, they are much better with Connor, and they miss him big time. I'm not sure if he'll be back for this game. He might be. That also affects the possibility there. So, so the Jets, I think we're getting the W on this one, everyone. I think we're getting one. So now we're on a 4-game winning streak, and then we go on the road and we face Minnesota. It's at 11 a.m. Pacific time on a Monday. Are you kidding me? It's like, I'm going to be at work, everyone, so I'm not going to be streaming right after that game. So this Wild team, though, has really struggled. They really struggled. They have more losses than they have wins, and they're only 4-5-1 in their last 10. They're 30th in the NHL on the PK and 30th on face-off percentages. So they are a bit in shambles right now. And so I believe that's going to be a 5-game winning streak. The problem is the next day they play in Colorado against the Avalanche, Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And we all know about the Avs, right? In their last 10, they have 7 wins, 3 losses. And I believe that we're going to take him to overtime. It's going to be a close game. And the Avalanche goalie, he was stellar at the All-Star game. I feel like he was like one of those unsung heroes. I really appreciated how well he played. He's playing great hockey. Makar wants to keep proving that he's better than Hughes, so he always gets up for these games. And then, of course, McKinnon and Rantanen are really tough to beat. And so I think we're going to lose in overtime, because this team is really big, strong, fast, experienced. And I just have this feeling that we're going to take some bad penalties, and they're going to score at least on 2 of those power plays. So I'm going to give us an overtime loss. I could definitely see us just getting a straight loss there. So, and then we're going to go into Seattle on Thursday night, and we're going to play at 7 p.m. So it's just normal Pacific time frame there. We're going to play the Kraken. And the Kraken, though, honestly, have been disappointing. 100 points last year. They aren't even close to what they've been last year. So I shouldn't say nowhere near close. They really got to pick it up to get back to the level they were playing at a season ago. So I do, though, think that the Canucks have their number, that the Canucks, this might be one of those easier games than you think. I know you want to give the Kraken a lot of credit, but at the end of the day, I think Vancouver wins that game. And then we've got 3 home games, and this is where I think we start going on a roll, and we play Boston Bruins, Hockey Night in Canada, 4 p.m. start. And I said that we're going to split those games, so I'm taking Van on that night, and people are going to be pumped. Like, if you're at that game, getting that win at home, the place is going to be buzzing. You know, the crowd is going to be so into it because this is a game that we want to win. I have a feeling we're going to pull it off. And so I'm taking the Canucks there. And then Pittsburgh comes into town, which it's always a treat to watch Sidney Crosby. In fact, he was really good against us last time we played him. He's always good in every game, Malcolm. But here's the thing. The Penguins are struggling. They are older. They're super experienced. I get that. But I think the Canucks are at this stage too strong for the Penguins. We've already beat them once this year. So I'm taking Vancouver at home, and then we play the LA Kings. But by this time, and I know this is early for here, but by this time we're going to find out if the Kings are going to turn their season around or not. And in the last 10, they've been 5 losses and 2 overtime losses. So it looks like the Kings are not legit, but they will be fighting for a playoff spot, or they're going to be trying. So, but they do have the best penalty kill in the entire NHL. But I'm not sold on Talbot, even though he went to All-Star game. I don't think he's been that great of a goalie this season. And they are Talbot has 14 wins, 13 losses, 5 ties. So the Canucks, in my opinion, will overpower the Kings. So that's going to be a 4-game winning streak to end the month. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm saying we win 10 in February. Wow. I didn't even notice that. That's a lot. And we're going to have 2 losses and 1 overtime loss. I just think we're going to be proving that we're still the best team, or at least the top 3 best teams in the NHL. And that's going to be a good month. So I'm still riding the train. I'm hitting the gas. I'm not pumping the brakes. Why would I? We've done nothing to this point to prove anything different than what I'm predicting here. So hope you have a good day. Hey, let me know in the comments what you think, what you think our record's going to be. If any of these games you think I'm going to get wrong, let me know. So thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe. And of course, always go Canucks.